All right, shalom, shalom. Before I begin this lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and the glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. All right, double honors to the apostles and elders, the great millstone that rule well, and peace and blessing be multiplied on all you brethren, pushing this word in all sincerity and in truth. All right, and shalom to you scattered Israelites that are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, who may look like the other nations, but your spirit is knit with this gospel and in this truth, and you're continuously calling upon the names of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai in all truth and sincerity, no matter what you may look like. You know, this is not a black thing. You may very well be one of the elect of the 12 tribes of Israel. All right? Shalom to the hopeful elect, 144,000, and the rest of the men, women, and children that will receive mercy from the Lord in these last days. I'm the brother Dama Agabar out here with another live street ministry, coming out here again to prophesy and to preach the gospel of the kingdom of heaven. All right? And to usher in the return of our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, in these last days. All right? And, you know, like we do week in and week out, just another day to come out here on the highways and the byways and to prophesy and to chant down Babylon the Great, which is prophetically, biblically known as America, and to, you know, prophesy the end and the downfall of the rulership of these heathen nations, starting with the so-called white man, who is biblically known as Esau, Edom, and the rest of the rule and the confederacy of all these heathen nations that is against, you know, the Israelites, you know, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right? And this is another day closer to the end of this age, and another day closer to, you know, our salvation drawing nigh and being closer than when we believe in the return of our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, who's going to come to judge and to make war and to establish his government, his rulership, and the throne of David back on this planet Earth in these last days. All right? And as you can see, you know, just last night, you know, we had our the Passover, which, Lord willing, it'll be the last one that we have to rehearse here in Babylon the Great, and the next one will be in the kingdom of heaven. All right, and Lord willing, all your brothers had a beautiful Pesach. You know, you kept it solemn, you kept it serious, and you kept it after the manner of Yahweh Shai's Passover. You know, and not in the fashion and the manner of these, you know, these bugged out Israelite groups who are using the Passover as a means to party and to celebrate and to not, you know, celebrate it in the seriousness and the solemnness that it deserves. All right, because hey, the times that we're not in the times of love and peace and happiness. You know, we're in the time of war. We're in the time of great judgment. Hey, we're in the time of the Lord really making moves and exposing a lot of these false Israelite groups for being the bunch of bug outs and weirdos that they, you know, and sellouts that they are. You know, and also the Lord is making a complete separation of who is truly serving him and who is serving him not. All right, and he's making it known who are the true prophets, the faithful prophets, and who are the false prophets, the wolves in sheep clothing, a lot of these sellouts, a lot of these bug outs. And the Lord is also exposing, you know, the intent and the motive and the mindset of a lot of you bugged out Israelites, man. Because a lot of you are finding yourself being, what's up, man? A lot of you guys are finding yourselves being overcome with the bitterness that comes with this truth. All right, and a lot of you are fainting and falling and looking for a way out of this truth before it truly and really gets, you know, to its full bitterness. You know, you got a lot of guys openly rebelling against the commandments of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You know, the Lord is exposing a lot of the hypocrisy, a lot of the con artists, the hypocrites, the actors, the sellouts, the weirdos, you know, within this Israelite thing of ours, you know. So we want to make sure that we're moving, you know, honestly and righteously, and ultimately not getting caught up and not getting, you know, washed away with the bitterness that comes with this truth, which, you know, that was something that when you first come into this truth and when you go into the scriptures, when you really go into the discipleship and following after Yahweh Shai, it comes with all of this temptation, and it does come with bitterness. It does come with, you know, hurdles. It comes with, you know, situations that's not going to be favorable, you know, all right? Because a lot of Jake come into this truth thinking that, you know, they're going to get all these blessings. Yeah, you know, it's a beautiful thing coming into this truth. And one of the ultimate beautiful things about coming into this truth is you get that gift of faith and that gift of understanding, you know, prophecy, understanding these precepts, and ultimately understanding, you know, why we're in this condition and the hell that comes along with it. And also, you know, you have to keep in mind that with much understanding comes much grief, man. The one thing about being a true servant of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is you are going to be hated, man. You are going to be slandered. You're going to be lied on. You're going to be looked at as, unholy, as evil, as wicked, as a hypocrite, as as Beelzebub, as a demon. All these things come with this truth, and it comes with being a true follower of Yahushua HaMashiach, man. And you see a lot of guys in these last days, man. Hey, like I said, the bitterness is starting to overcome a lot of these guys. And like I said, and the days are going to come to where it's not going to be very cool and not fashionable to declare yourself as an Israelite, man. We know that it's going to come with much oppression. It's going to come with the likelihood of being put to death, being thrown in prison. And like brothers brought out information how now the FBI and the CIA, which we already assume that now their information is coming out that they are infiltrating the Israelites. That they're basically, setting up a campaign ultimately to come up against us. And don't be surprised pretty soon, when, you're going to start seeing, the Israelites start being really lied on and really, put on the news media and portrayed in a very evil and nasty manner where we might eventually become public enemy number one. You see, but guess what? All these things happen until Yahweh, let me get that real fast, and all these things are part of what you should have been taught and made aware of when you first came into this truth. You see, but coming up under a lot of these different gimmicky, worldly, Christian Israelite groups that are not really coming wholeheartedly and righteously into this thing and not building you up correctly, not fully making it aware of what you're a part of when you truly come into this ministry, when it gets hot, a lot of these guys are tucking tail. A lot of these jakes are going back into the world. And like I said, it hasn't even really gotten hot yet to the point to where it's going to be a great insurrection upon those of us that fear Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. To where even proclaiming yourself to be an Israelite could be punishable by death or put before a firing squad or locked in a prison indefinitely, shipped into a Guantanamo Bay type of situation, thrown into one of these concentration camps, because that's ultimately, some of the price that we're going to have to pay for being true followers of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. It comes with being hated at the end of the day. But like I said, a lot of you guys have built up this cult of personality. A lot of you guys have used this truth as a means and a way to, uplift yourself in this world, but you didn't really truly count the cost. You didn't really fully understand, that making yourself a friend of this world, is going to make you an enemy to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and vice versa. If you make yourself a friend of this world and a PC Israelite, and you're doing all these things, in a politically correct manner, all right? You get offended by particular scriptures. You shun away from the nastiness and the nastiness of the scriptures, to where if you promote that and stand by it, according to this world, you'll be hated, you'll be shunned, you'll be looked at as crazy and a bug out. Now we're starting to see, individuals that have taken that route, and now, they're trying to bow out gracefully. You see? So, hey, there's a lot of things happening in this truth, man. There's a lot of things happening in these last days, and hey, the Lord is just preparing us for the criticism and the hate that's really about to come upon those of us that are in this truth, and the true men of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And also, we're going to see a lot of Israelites bow out ungracefully, man. A lot of them are going to tuck tail. They're going to go back into the world. You're going to start seeing more men and women denying that they're Israelites. You see all these bugged out women on TikTok coming up talking all type of shit. You see a lot of men who know that they're Israelites no longer wanting to be known as Israelites. And now I'm just a follower of Christ. I'm not a Hebrew Israelite, or all this other nonsense that they're talking. Because ultimately, a lot of these guys are trying to ultimately get out of this thing before the heat really turns up. And ultimately, a lot of these guys are just friends of the world, man. A lot of these guys seeing that being an Israelite, it doesn't come with being accepted of this world. It comes with particular worldly opportunities that, a lot of worldly opportunities that you thought you could get, you're no longer going to get. You see, like I said, they didn't count the cost. They're letting the affairs and the cares of this life basically choke out this truth and following Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, which is going to be to their own destruction. But hey, Scripture said that there's going to be many that's going to fall after that pattern, and we see it being manifested, as we get closer and closer until the end of this thing, man. And it's not going to stop. It's not going to slow down. It's going to fully continue to happen. But those of us, man, who are faithful, who are true believers, who are ultimately part of the elect, hey, we're going to continue to walk and trust in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua no matter what, man. Because ultimately we know that there's nothing that can separate the elect from the love that Hamashiach Yahweh B'Shem Hamashiach Yahushua and the Heavenly Father has for his elect, man. So that's what I wanted to get into today, just basically going into, hey, man, all the trials and the tribulation and the temptations that come with being in this truth, which we've already been told that. We know that, but, we know that and see that it's going to increase as we get closer and closer into the end, man. You're going to see more bug outs. You're going to see more crazy shit go on. You're going to see more Jake go back into the world, denounce his truth. We're going to see more weird activity and false breakdowns and these weird Israelite leaders acting more and more off, man. Doing things that are really just, things that make you go, things that's going to show them for being sellouts and weirdos and agents. We're going to see more, treacherous behavior within this Hebrew Israelite think of ours, man. But one thing is for sure, the elect is not going to be moved. The elect are going to continue to be, 10 toes down in this thing, move correctly and directly, and not be swerved or moved or bow the knee to Baal in these times that are coming, man. So that's what I wanted to get into today, just dealing with that, and Lord willing, they can be edifying because, hey, man, the Lord is showing a lot of these different things, ultimately to build up the elect, and he's showing us through the Spirit that he's preparing us for the rocky road that's about to be ahead, man. Like it says in, Acts 14:22, through much tribulation are we going to have to enter into the kingdom of heaven. And right now you see a lot of guys falling out of this thing, going back into the world before shit even really is hitting the fan, man. We ain't got to the worst of this thing. We haven't gotten to Jacob's trouble. We haven't gotten to the dreaded mark of the beast, the MOTB, being forced upon everybody. We see we see that they have the infrastructure and everything in place, but it hasn't fully been been made mandatory yet. And you got guys already falling out and getting weak and losing hope and faith, man. So we just got to look at those guys as examples of what not to be, and continue to be, locked in, dialed in, standing upon our watch, paying attention to what's happening around the world, linking it with prophecy, and ultimately continuously praying that the Most High is with us and he's guiding us and he don't take his Holy Spirit from us, man. So that's what I wanted to get into today. So Lord willing, it can be edifying, all right? So the first thing I got is you get the 2 Corinthians chapter 4. These are going to be basic scriptures, nothing to go too deep into, but these scriptures, they make the point, man. They keep you dialed in, they keep you on that straight and narrow path, and they put you in the right mind frame to be in, especially in the times that we're getting ready to go into. And the scriptures like these that is going to have to be on the forefront of our minds when we're in these particular situations, man. Like I said, it's one thing about quoting these scriptures, but we're going to have to be able to apply the wisdom that comes with these scriptures when it's presented in the time, in the time that they need to be, applied, Because like I said, man, hey, we ain't really seen nothing yet, None of us had to even resist unto blood yet, but we know that those days are coming. But hey, a lot of the things that we're going through now, a lot of the things that we're seeing, is all just to build us up, man, and to put us in the right mind frame and the right spirit that we're going to have to be in when all is said and done. All right, so this is 2 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 8. It says, but we are troubled on every side, yet not distressed. We are perplexed, but not in despair. And this really is only applying to the elect of Israel, man. Like I said, you look at all these other Israelite groups, the IUIC, the ISUPK, the Sakari, and all them. Hey, a lot of those guys are very comfortable here, man. And what further proves that, you had this guy Hassad just last night say that he didn't even want to eat the bitter herbs for the Passover because it's disgusting and he just doesn't like it. It just shows you that these guys are totally rebellious against Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, and that these guys don't want to deal with the bitterness that comes with being in this truth, man. And that's why these guys are all about making money. They're all about being, they incorporate a lot of the worldliness into this truth, and they don't want to really have to enter in at that straight gate, man. And this is why a lot of these guys, that learned from elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, didn't ultimately want to come up under the apostles of Great Millstone, because it comes with order, man. It comes with discipline. It comes with straightness. You can't just come into this thing and just do what you want to do, however you want to do it, you know. And that's why these guys like to break off and do their own things, man, so that they could make this truth more comfortable and make it as not straight as possible, man. Because a lot of these guys, they want it the easy way, man. All right, they don't want to come into this thing the right way, which leads to discipline. It leads to order. You're going to be checked. You're going to be rebuked. You're going to be corrected. But it's all for your benefit at the end of the day. But like I said, hey, a lot of these guys, man, they like I said, they ain't dealing with the straightness that really come into this truth. A lot of these guys came into this truth as being Israelites, but they came through the broad way, man. This is why these guys they still do the hip hop and the rap. They got the long hair, they got the lineups, they got all the merchandise, making all this money, going on all these podcasts, rubbing shoulder with all these worldly individuals, being PC Israelites, man. See? Verse 9, it says, persecuted. And who's the most persecuted camp in Israel? It's Great Millstone, man. It's because why? It's because we're ultimately, starting with the elders and the apostles, the true men of Yahweh Shem Shai. We don't cut any corners, man. We don't let you just do and say and prophesy and preach and use this gospel to, however you want to see fit, man. If it's going against what the scriptures say, they already know that Great Millstone is going to rebuke and correct you, which is actually a thing of love. But what these guys say when you rebuke them, oh, you just hating. Oh, why you tearing down your brother? Well, basically, in order for you to be built up, you got to be torn down to some point. But it's just all for you to be corrected. Just like a father, if you have a son and your son messes up, don't you punish him? Don't you rebuke him? Don't you correct him? Now, of course, it don't seem good at the moment, but it's not to destroy you. It's ultimately to help you get on the better path and to correct you of the mistakes that you're making, man. And ain't none of us perfect. We all make mistakes. We all go off the path. We all do things that are not, considered to be a sin, but a true brother would correct you and call you out on it, man. That's what a true friend and that's what true love is, but these guys call that hate, man, because that's really a worldly spirit. A lot of these people in the world, they don't like to be told when they're going off or when they're messing up. When you tell them, oh, you hate me. Oh, why are you telling me that? Well, if I didn't love you, then I wouldn't say anything, you see? And that's why all this brotherhood over breakdowns is BS, man. That's not how the Bible says to rebuke in front of all so that everybody can be afraid, man. But you guys look at being rebuked and corrected as something evil, but that's one of the main reasons of why we're in this captivity and why we were in this situation in the first place, man, was because of our sin and our lack and our hatred of being corrected and being told about ourselves, man. It says, always bearing about in the body the dying of the Lord Yahushua, that the life also of Yahushua might be made manifest in our body. For we which live are always delivered unto death for Yahushua's sake, that the life also of Yahushua might be made manifest in our mortal flesh. So if you're really going to be a follower of the Messiah, it comes with burdens. It comes with being hated. Like the Lord said, the world hated him. Why? Because he testified that the world was evil, man. And it ain't nothing but evil going on in this place, man. And we're the only ones that's really standing up and rebuking it, man. When I was in the Christian church, that was never a thing that they did or that they taught. They never rebuked. They never corrected. They told you can do whatever you want to do. God don't hate the sin. He hates the sinner. But we see that the wages of sin are death. So why would you promote sin when it leads to death, man? You see, so those of us who are really standing up for the Lord, man, we're hated every day, man. We're slandered. We're called this. We're called that. Because, hey, if you look at it, this world is evil, man. Everything about this world is evil. Black culture, Mexican culture, American culture, it's all stemmed in wickedness, man. Because it goes against everything that's written within the Holy Bible. But then you got people saying, oh, I love the Lord. I love the Lord. But then when you correct them out of the words of the Lord, they got a problem with it. They call you a hater. So how much sense does that make? Show you that this whole place is just backwards at the end of the day, man. And we're the only ones that's truly standing up for righteousness. That's why we're so hated. Oh, let me get that real fast. Let me show you what the Bible says when you stand up for righteousness, especially in America, which is a wicked society. This is what they do. Let me get this real fast. Here we go. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 59, verse 15. I'm going to read up. This is Isaiah chapter 59, verse 14. And this is what happens in America, and this is what happened amongst a lot of you Israelite groups out here, man. Because a lot of you guys ain't truly right in the spirit. All right, this is Isaiah 59 and 14. It says, and judgment is turned away backward, and justice standeth afar off, for the truth is fallen in the street, and equity cannot enter, and especially here in this society and in America, man. But here it is, amongst this, us being Israelites and coming to this truth. This is supposed to be at the forefront of what we're out here really standing for. But like I said, you got a lot of these other Israelite groups to where, you know, truth within their congregations and within their ministries is falling completely off, man. They're going off on the MOTB. They're telling you that you can have sex on the Sabbath. You can pop your woman in the ass. You got General Yohana coming up saying that if you don't come under the ISUPK, we're going to tell you how to worship the Most High, who to have sex with, how to have sex. Well, yeah, because they want to tell you can pop your woman in her ass, man, which is totally against the scriptures, which is sodomy, man. You got the IUIC over there telling you, oh, if you get a wife, she got to be in the truth. And if you give her 6 months, you got a wife or a husband, and they don't want to get with the truth and convert to being Israelites, you got to divorce that person, which leads to adultery. So all type of wickedness is going on in between these camps. All right, they talk about the law, but then they break the law. But then when you correct them out of the law, they still hate you, man. You see? It says, yea, truth faileth, and he that departeth from evil maketh himself a prey. See, and that's what happens here in this society, man. When you depart from evil, which America and this whole society and the way of this world is completely evil, man. But when you depart from that and return to the truth of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, the truth that's written within the scriptures, man, you make yourself a prey. You can be counseled. Well, Esau can't counsel us, but you know, the point is, you make yourself a prey, especially when you come into this truth, you become a prey to these worldly, earthly demons out here, whether it's Israelites or whether it's just these regular heathens and people out here, man. All right, when you truly depart from evil, you make yourself a prey. And what's the ultimate way to depart from evil? It was what's written within the Holy Bible. The law, statutes, and commandments, and the righteousness that comes of the Most High, man. You make yourself literally a prey when you depart from evil. And just like Yahweh Shah said, the world hated him because he testified of the world and that the works thereof was evil, man. So when you're standing on Yahweh Shem Yahushua business, man, you are going to be a prey. You are going to be hated. You are going to be slandered. All right? This is why these other Israelite groups hate Great Millstone so much, man. Because they're all in that go along to get along spirit, man. Yeah, brotherhood over breakdowns, unity camps where you all come together with a bunch of confusion and different doctrines and all type of madness, man. But when we cut that and get on it, hey, we're hated. Like the scriptures say, it says, and Yahweh saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judgment. You see? And the Lord doesn't like that, man. That's why, hey, a lot of you other false Israelite camps, and even this world is about to be brutally judged by Yahweh Shai when he comes back and makes his second return, man. And we can't wait. It's beyond due, man. This place needs to go, and it needs to go now, man. All right, so back to where I was. Back in 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 9, it says, persecuted but not forsaken, you see? So, yeah, we're going to receive all this backlash. We know you guys hate Great Millstone. You're praying on our downfall. You want to see the elders and the apostles catch a bad one. But, hey, at the end of the day, man, we're not going to be cast down, especially not by Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Now, this world may cast us down. Y'all can persecute us, but at the end of the day, man, hey, in front of the final judge, the ultimate judge, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, we're going to be found not guilty. And the Lord is going to snatch us out of the hands of you murderers of the prophets, you wicked ass Israelites, and this world, man. We just got to be patient and continue to suffer righteously. Be patient, man. You know, and the Lord's going to come through for us at the end of the day, regardless of what you people might think or even how difficult it might seem. There's nothing impossible for what Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is going to do for his elect when it matters the most. It says, persecuted but not forsaken, cast down but not destroyed, always bearing about in the body the dying of the Lord Yahushua, that the life also of Yahushua might be made manifest in our bodies. So, hey man, as long as we're doing what we're doing and we're being hated, hey man, in the eyes of Yahushua, we're in good company, man. And all we're doing is glorifying Yahushua because he had to go through the same thing. And us being his true followers, hey, we're walking in his footsteps and he's looking down upon us very well and highly favored, man. So don't ever, let the hell we got to catch for standing upon this truth and being made praise for righteousness' sake deter you, or let that become something that's so bitter that it drives you not even want to be in this truth, man. Because, hey, it's not as it seems in the eyes of this people in this world. But in the eyes, that's why it always matters about you doing what's right and pleasing in the sight of Yahweh Shem Yahushua and keeping that in perspective. So therefore, when these things happen and you catching all this bitterness for righteousness' sake, you don't get all weird, you don't get all bugged out, man. But just know at the end of the day, hey, what you're doing is glorious in the sight of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and just continue to be patient, man. And we got to suffer those things. All right? It says, it says, for we which live are always delivered unto death for Yahushua's sake, you see? So you have to keep that in the back of your mind. Now, I don't mean literally we're dead, but we, just deal with how much hell we catch here, man. Being in league with Yahushua comes with all of this grief, all of this persecution, the hatred, the slander, the lies, not being, looked upon favorably, but that's just in the eyes of these two-third worldly mere mortals, man. So that shouldn't bend you out of shape, and that shouldn't have such a negative effect on you. But if you're a worldly person, if you're somebody that wants to be heard of this world, you speak of this world, you want the fame and the fortune and the love and the acceptance of this world, then hey, those things are going to rub you the wrong way, and that bitterness is going to cause you ultimately to push away this truth in Yahweh Shem Yahushua and turn and be embraced by this world, and ultimately to be destroyed, man. It says that the life also of Yahushua might be made manifest in our mortal flesh, so then death worketh in us, but life in you. And we, is that all I want? No. Verse 13, it says, we having the same spirit of faith, as according as it is written, I believed, and therefore have I spoken. Yeah, man. So those of us who truly believe, man, hey, we're not going to be deterred by the hell and the persecution that comes with these things, because we ultimately know that it's working far better and it's building us up at the end of the day. It says, knowing that he was raised up, the Lord Yahushua shall raise up us also by Yahushua and shall present us with you, see? So we're in good company, man. So letting the bitterness that comes with this truth, it shouldn't deter you. It shouldn't beat you down. It shouldn't wear you out. It should only really lift you up and build you up. Because knowing at the end of the day, it's all glorious in the sight of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, what we're having to suffer here. So you can't look at it with a worldly lens and look at it from, how people from this world look at us, because ultimately their opinions don't matter. And they're supposed to be in that spirit. What unity has light with darkness or darkness with light, man? You see? It says, for all things are for your sakes, that the abundant grace might through the thanksgiving of many redound to the glory of the Most High, for which cause we faint not. You see? So you can't faint. Let's look at that word faint. That's what you're going to see occur more and more in these last days. Because a lot of these guys who claim to be Israelites, they're going to start fainting, man. Especially as Esau starts turning up the heat, especially, when there's famine, death, and major destruction and more judgment come out. A lot of these guys are going to faint and they're going to fall out of this truth. With the most recent example being Eleazar, man. Now, of course, he was being a damn demon and doing all type of wicked bullshit, which he shouldn't have been doing. But when the Lord aired him out for his bullshit and he got all his darkness got brought to the light, he fainted completely to where now he ain't even nowhere to be seen, man. Now he's back in the world, But hey, when he had ample time to get himself right, when he was being reproved, when he was being corrected, when he was being shown mercy, he refused it and rejected it because of the pride of life, man. He felt like he was more exalted than what he truly was, man. And the Lord made a cold example out of that guy. And he's not going to be alone. Hey, it's going to come to Johanna. It's going to come to Nate. It's going to come to all these other high-minded, proud-ass other Israelite groups out here that's walking in that same spirit, man. All right? Oh, yeah. Let's get that word for faint, man. 2 Corinthians 4. I think I was in 15. Let's get this word for faint, man. The word for faint is ekakeo. Ekakeo, it says to be utterly spiritless, to be wearied out, exhausted, right? There ain't no time to be exhausted in serving Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Like I said earlier, which I'm going to read next in Ecclesiastes 2nd chapter. Hey, when you come to serve the Lord, it's going to come with manyfold temptations. And some of those temptations it can be wearisome. It can wear on the spirit. It can wear on the mind, on the body, on how you feel. But hey, that's where the Lord in your spirit, He energizes you. He gives you that right amount of battery pack in your spirit to keep you moving forward, man. Not be so easily swayed, not to be so worn out. And then that really comes with not being so affected by what these people and what this world thinks, man. Remember, the Lord has taken us out of this world, man. So therefore, hey, we've come out of this world. So therefore, the effects and the weight and the view and the opinion of the world, it's impervious unto us, man. You shouldn't give a damn about what the world thinks, man. That's why as long as you're moving in the spirit and you're doing what you got to do, the Lord's going to take care of everything else, man. And just don't give these people of this world a reason through your actions to be able to condemn you and to tear you down and to have something, to use things that you did to cast you down, man. That's why the fear of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is so important. It says to be weak, i.e. by implication to fail in heart, faint, to be weary. You see? So you can't faint not. You can't be weary. You can't be exhausted with serving Yahweh Hashem Yahushua and doing good and rebuking and correcting and condemning this wicked ass world, man. Because hey, this world is not going to stop being wicked, so therefore we can't stop condemning it, and we're not going to stop from speaking what's right, man. You see? It says, it says, therefore, seeing we have this ministry, we faint. Oh, no. What was it? Yeah, here we go. Right, it says, for which cause we faint not, but though our outward man perish, yet the inward man is renewed day by day. Like I was saying, yeah, sometimes it can be overwhelming physically and mentally and seeing all this bullshit and having to deal with the BS. But hey, inwardly through the spirit, man, we're energized, man. Hey, we're ready for another round. We're ready to go. We shouldn't faint. We shouldn't be weary. We just keep going because the Lord has given us a spirit to continue. It says, yet the inward man is renewed day by day, meaning your spirit. It says, for our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. You see? So everything that we're really going through is really a light affliction. Like I said earlier, because ain't none of us have to resist it. We haven't resisted unto blood yet. We haven't been put in a situation to where, Esau is going to tell us, look, either, we haven't been presented for the hour of temptation through the micro C-hip to where you're going to have to make that final decision whether you're going to bow down and worship Esau, take that micro C-hip, or serve Yahweh Hashem Yahushua and be faced with death right there on the moment, or put before a firing squad, or be threatened to be hanged right there on the spot, whether you got to choose the MOTB or serving Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. We haven't even gotten to that point yet, man. You see? So everything that we're going through right now is really more of a spiritual, it's physically, some of it sometimes, but it's more of a spiritual battle, a spiritual war going on, man. And you got a lot of guys who are already losing the spiritual battle by fainting and returning and going back. How much more when shit gets, when this spiritual war turns into more of a physical war, man. These guys are already turning, tucking tail and turning back. And one example was when the whole C-19er in the situation happened, and that spider piss was being presented to these people. A lot of people fainted, and a lot of people through that affliction tucked tail and rolled up the sleeve, man, and didn't have faith. You see, and you have what? A lot of false Israelite groups and leaders telling you that you should take it, that you'll be a damn fool not to roll up your sleeve and take that because I'm going to take it. And they're telling you think the Lord cares if you take a micro C-hip. So, hey, man, a lot of these guys, a lot of these Israelite leaders are prepping you people already to physically, spiritually to lose, and eventually to physically be overcome and taken, man. But those of us who are of Yahweh Shem Shai, man, hey, the Lord's going to guide us correctly, man, and we're not going to faint in that time. It says, while we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. And that's why a lot of you guys are failing too, because you're more focused on the things that you can see. A lot of you guys are too focused on this world and what you're trying to get out of it, instead of looking at the world that is to come in the kingdom and you know, and the world that is to come, man. You see? It says, for the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal, you see? And that comes with faith at the end of the day too, man, which a lot of you guys are showing yourself not to have. A lot of you guys are in this hungry while wait spirit. A lot of you guys, you know, are impatient. You're in that instant oatmeal spirit. Like I said, you just want it. You want all the fame and the glory and the accolades now, man. You think you're going to have your cake and eat it too here on this side, and then you're going to be in the kingdom and you're going to be, you know, one of the 144,000 and one of the elect. It ain't going to work that way, man. A lot of you guys are striving for that corruptible crown, and guess what? You're going to receive it here in Babylon the Great. Ultimately to be destroyed at the end of the day, man. All right? So let's get this. And Ecclesiasticus. All right? So you can't let these light afflictions and you know, all of the hate that we're going to garnish from being in this truth, you know, make you faint or break you down, or, you know, make you so weak to where you don't even want to believe in this truth anymore, man, because it's going to happen. It's going to come. That's part of the proving grounds that comes with serving Yahweh Shem Shai, man. You know, hey, this is how we earn our stripes, man. But like I said, it's going to ultimately come to the point of the hour of temptation, man. Like I said, when Esau comes in with that great wrath, to where it's going to come a point to where being an Israelite is not going to be cute. It's not going to be fashionable. A lot of you guys out here walking around with your fringes and with the armbands. You got the Hebrew shirts on. Everywhere you go, you constantly presenting yourself and showing yourself, yeah, I'm an Israelite, I'm a Jew, I'm this, I'm that. Hey, the day is going to come to where all of that outwardly showing in the flesh, hey, a lot of you niggas going to tuck tail and run, man. And you're going to wish you had, you know, used the wisdom and knowledge and understanding that the elders and the apostles and the men of great millstone gave you, man. You know, you don't have to be out here. No, you're not wicked if you want to wear your fringes and all that shit, but making it being a fashion statement and using it as a point to exalt yourself and present yourself and show yourself worldly and outwardly that you know who you are. Hey, eventually, you know, like I said, that's just not wise to do, man. Scriptures tell us to be wise as serpents and harmless as doves, man. There ain't nothing wrong with using wisdom and knowledge, man. But like I said, a lot of you guys take that as, oh, y'all niggas scared. Oh, y'all niggas is weak. We gonna see in that day, man. Like I said, because Esau has the goods on all of us, man. He knows where we live. He knows what we're about. He got our IP address and all this stuff. Hey, eventually you're gonna get that. We might all get that knock at the door. You know, eventually we know we're all gonna be persecuted for this truth. But it's gonna come to a point to where it's gonna be right there in your face, and you're gonna have to make a choice, man. Like I said, yeah, it's easy to do it now while, you know, it's fashionable, while, you know, it's cute. You know, you're out here making merchandise. You're doing your little, you know, worldly Israelite thing, but hey, when it gets to the point to where it's going to be punishable by indefinite detention or being locked up or being forced, you know, putting your head in that guillotine, we're going to see who's going to be the chosen in that day, and who's really built up and who was really about this thing, you know. But like I said, it starts now, man. You know. And this is Ecclesiasticus chapter 2 verse 1. It says, "My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation." See? Well, if you come to serve the Lord, you got to prepare that soul for temptation. And it's all around us every day, man. All right? And a huge part of it is people, how you really, you know, if you really care about how this world sees you and how this world views you, man. That's where a lot of guys fall off, especially if you're one of these PC Israelite groups, if you're one of these worldly groups, one of these marketed, fringe, logo-wearing Israelite groups, man. See, that's where a lot of you guys are going to F up at, because you're linking your ministry and this truth with this world. So therefore, you're going to be open to the scrutiny and the expectations of this world, man, which is totally against Yahweh Shem Shai, which, you know, if it's found to be offensive or hateful, you got to go and clean it up. You got to go and try to be PC and say, God hates white people. We don't hate white people. Shit like that, you know? Totally denying Yahweh Shem Shai and the truth and the validity of the scriptures, man. It says, set thine heart, meaning thy mind, aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in the time of trouble, you see? So you got to constantly endure. Like I said, all of the affliction, the persecution, the hatred, the lying, the slander. You know, people having this weird, already preconceived notion about you when they find out you're an Israelite, man. And you see that too, you know? But it is what it is, man. At the end of the day, it says, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. See, so this thing requires patience. Yeah, you're going to suffer. Yeah, you're going to be brought low. Yeah, you're not always going to be, you know, financially where you want to be. You know, sometimes you're going to have highs. You're going to have lows. Sometimes you might feel depressed. Sometimes you might be high. You know, sometimes, you know, you might be in the spirit. Sometimes you might not be. But hey, at the end of the day, we got to constantly endure all these things and faint not. It says, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. You see? So when the adversity and the fire comes, man, hey, that's a purifying process, which a lot of these guys hate, a lot of these guys despise. You know, when they're in that hour of adversity, when they're being tested, when you're being rebuked or called out, or you know, you're catching your personal hell, man. Hey, that's just ultimately to pure out the impurities that's within you, and understand at the end of the day, hey, whatever the Lord has you going through, that may not be comfortable, that may bring a lot of discomfort. It doesn't seem fair. It doesn't seem right. It seems like you can't catch a break. Hey, man, just remember at the end of the day, that's the Lord just purging out those impurities that's within you that need to be purged out of you, man. So that once you come out of that thing, hey, you're more refined. You're more built up. You're more. Your skin gets thicker. You're able to endure more and suffer more and be able to navigate through situations like that, man. It's not to ultimately to destroy you, man. All right, because what happens when you put gold in the fire? It purges out all of the impurities, and it becomes pure, solid, more. It has more of a worth and more of a value to it, man. It's the same with us in this truth, man. It says, believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in him. Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy, and go not aside lest ye fail. See? It says, ye that fear the Lord, hope for good and for everlasting joy and mercy. Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? And we got plenty of examples in the scriptures of our forefathers, man, who were put in the most direst of situations, but they continued to trust. They didn't faint. Daniel, Meshach, and Abednego. Look at the situation that they was in. And ain't none of us been put in that type of fire, literal fire yet, man. And what did they do while they was in that situation? They didn't fret. They didn't fear. They didn't bow down and worship the image of Nebuchadnezzar, man. They kept their integrity. They trusted in Yahweh Shem Shai. When you read the Apocrypha, the whole time they was in that situation, what did they do? They were calling upon the names of Yahweh Shem Shai, man. And what happened when they was put in that situation? Not a hair of their heads was singed in that ridiculously hot fire, man. And guess what? And that's why it says, look at the generations of old. Those stories are there for our learning and to help us on this path and to give us that strength and courage needed when we're put in our hour of temptation, which is coming. All right, hey, our time is coming. Our trial is testing is coming. Like I said, it happens every day on small increments, a little bit by a little bit. You know, we're being we're being tested. You know, things are constantly trying to pull us back into this world, pull us out of this truth. Satan is constantly sifting, putting weird thoughts in your mind, making your woman be a demon, your children be demons. Dealing with brothers got different particular, trials and temptations, but at the end of the day, we're all facing forces and factors that's trying to pull us out of this truth, that's trying to knock us off of that straight and narrow path, man, and trying to drag us out and pull us away from Yahweh Shem Shai. But we got to continue to fight, and no matter what situation that we're in, man, got to be able to maintain and keep pressing forward, But let me get this. Let me jump down though. Verse. Oh shit! What happened? Oh. Let me jump down. But I'm gonna jump down to 14, 12. It says, "But woe be to the fearful hearts and faint hands." Remember, I just read that in 2 Corinthians. We faint not. So you don't want to have faint hands. You don't want to be weary. You don't want to be overexhausted with walking down the righteous path and walking with Yahweh Shem Shai, because at times it can be like that. Sometimes it feels like, I remember we had a guy in the truth a long time ago. Yeah, it got crazy, and he was like, "This is too much, man. This is too much. This is crazy, because I don't know what he thought when he came into this thing, but when that little bit of heat arose, man, he was like, "This is too much. I didn't sign up for all of this," and he fainted and he went back into the world, man. And that can happen to any of us, man. But hey, Lord willing, if we're the elect, no matter what, man, hey, that inward man is going to be renewed day by day, no matter what situations that we find ourselves in. And that's why it's important to pray for that type of energy as well, man. A lot of guys don't pray enough. A lot of guys don't ask Yahweh Shem Shai to continue to take not away your Holy Spirit, nor thy holy names, man. Pray that the Lord keep you fully built up in this thing, not weak-minded, not wavery, not not so affected by the opinions and the thoughts of these people out here, because because like I said, it can become a burden, it can overwhelm you, but hey, you got to keep things in its proper perspective, and that's why this truth, this word has to be literally in you. It's like a constant fire that's burning within you that helps you to overcome all of these thoughts and negativity and particular things of this world that's trying to pull you away. It says, "But woe be to the fearful hearts and faint hands, and to the sinner that goeth two ways. Woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not, therefore shall he not be defended." See? You're not going to be defended when it matters the most, man. You're not going to be defended, when you're put in particular situations and that diverse lust kicks in, the Lord, hey, he can take that spirit from you in that exact moment to make you to fall into those lusts and those temptations that could destroy you, man. It says, "Woe unto you that have lost patience." What does patience mean? To suffer, man. And a lot of guys are losing patience. A lot of guys are tired of suffering being in this truth. Because like I said, you got that guy Ringo. What is he saying? The reason he don't want to be a Hebrew Israelite, because it comes with all of this hate and certain business opportunities that I wanted to have. I was denied for the fact that I proclaimed myself to be an Israelite. Well, nigga, you shouldn't be so invested inside of this world, man. All right? But that's what happens, though, And then he finds himself being, he fainted, man. He's not going to be defended when it matters the most. And like I say, I'm just using him as an example because that's the most recent one, but we got plenty of examples of guys like that. Situations that happen like this in the world, to where we can apply that to this journey and to this walk and use it as an example of what not to be and not how to move. It says, "Woe unto you that have lost patience, and what will ye do when the Lord shall visit you? They that fear the Lord will not disobey his word, and they that love him will keep his way." See, they that fear the Lord will seek out which is well pleasing unto him, you see? And that's what we're ultimately doing. We're trying to find out things that are well pleasing unto the Most High. A lot of people want to search the things that are well pleasing unto themselves, man. That's why a lot of people get offended. That's why a lot of these bugged out weave wearing hair-hatted women on TikTok is coming up and talking all this shit against the Israelites, man. Oh, when I was in there and all this stuff, because ultimately they want to just go back into the world, because when they come into this truth, you can't just do the things that are always pleasing unto you, because they still have that worldly lust. They still want to be hoes, they want to be sluts, they want to be tramps, they want to be accepted of this world, man. And ultimately they don't want to put on the ways that are fully pleasing to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. They all want to go after their own lust and do what they want to do, man. It's the same with the men too, but I've just been noticing lately a lot of these women coming up talking shit. Well, I used to be a Hebrew Israelite and all that stuff, and my experience when dealing with a Hebrew Israelite. Yeah, because a lot of these women don't want to be told I ain't celebrating no goddamn Christmas. You can't celebrate no Christmas. You can't have your whole birthday month like you proud, arrogant broads like to push out there now. Look, they can't just have a birthday day. Now it got to be their birthday month type of bullshit. Which shows you the vanity and the vainness of these people of this world, man. You see, and they're not willing to sacrifice that and to throw that away to win Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Hey, well, that's why you're going to not be defended and you're going to eventually be destroyed here, man. All right? It says, "They that fear the Lord will prepare their hearts and humble their souls in his sight. saying, we will fall into the hands of the Lord and not into the hands of men, for as his majesty is, so is his mercy. See? But like I said earlier, a lot of people, they want to fall into the mercy and fall into the hands of man and in this world, man. And it's only going to lead to you being utterly destroyed, man. And we rather fall into the hands of Yahweh Shemel Shai and be on his time, be found doing what's well pleasing unto him. Because with that is going to come mercy, man. Which you're not going to get from this world. All right? Let's get this. This is Matthew chapter 7, verse 13. Enter ye in at the straight gate. You see? It's all about the straight gate. That's the only way that you can come to Yahweh Shemel Shai. You have to come in through that straight gate, man. You can't come to the Lord in this broad way, in this worldly way, and think you're going to serve Yahweh Shemel Shai. It's too much wiggle room, man. It's too much, you have too much access to every goddamn thing, man. And when you come to serve the Lord, it's only one way and one way only. And it's a straight and difficult way. You know, it needs discipline. It needs correction. You got to be rebuked. You got to be corrected. You know, you got to. Your eye got to be single. You know, you can't be. So in the world, man, it requires sacrifice. It requires putting off a lot of the things that you might want to do, and put those to the back burner. All right. So let's get that word for straight. Like I said, this is the reason why a lot of Jakes don't really want to come into this thing, and a lot of reasons why, you know, Jake want to do their own thing and not come up under the elders and the apostles and leadership, because they don't want to be under that discipline and under that strict rule and order. They want to do what they want to do. They want to mix a lot of the worldliness with this truth. All right, that's why niggas want to wear hats and carry sticks to camp. You know, because they want to do their own thing. They want to come into this truth, but in a very broad and a very wide way, where you can incorporate and bring in all type of things that was not directed or commanded of the Most High. And we see how it's ending for these guys. All right? Let's get this word for straight. Right, and the word is straight, S-T-R-A-I-T. It says, let's look at the root. All right, and the word straight is stenos. It says narrow, straight. Probably narrow from obstacles standing close about, straight. It wasn't really a good definition. But we know that word straight, it means a road of difficulty, you know? Like I read in Ecclesiastes, the second chapter, man. It's a straight gate when you're truly serving Yahweh Shemel Shai on truth and sincerity, man. There's a lot of do's, well, there's do's and don'ts. You know, there's things that you can do, things that you can't do, things that are permitted, things that are not permitted. And you can't just, because when you're in a very narrow, straight corridor, it's only so much movement that's allowed, man. All right, you got to move straightly and strictly going through that passage, man. And then once you get out, then eventually it'll open up and it'll be broad and wide, but it's going to be like that in the kingdom of heaven. But everything is going to be in order. We're going to be, with those new bodies, with the laws, statutes, and commandments in our inward parts. Then we can go into that narrow, into the broad, into the kingdom. But we're going to have everything that's needed already within us, to where we're going to be able to navigate and move through the broadness and through the wideness, but in righteousness' sake, man. You see, it's a narrow, straight now. It's because it's keeping you in order. It's keeping you in check. It's keeping you disciplined, man. You can't just move and go and do all these things that you want to do. But that's what a lot of these guys want to come into this truth now. They're basically hustling backwards, man. Jake want to come into this thing the broad way and then think they're going to, use that broad way to come into some narrow passage to enter in and into the kingdom and to win the Most High. But it don't work that way, all right? And I'm going to show you with the next precept I got. This is back in Matthew 7 and 13. It says, enter ye in at the straight gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to this. Look at that word broad. See what it says for broad, man. don't think I ever looked at the Broadway. And the word broad is a Euryturus. Euryturus, it says spacious, broad, wide. It doesn't really give you much. No, but we know that the Broadway is where the Broadway is just so wide, man. It's filled with all these different things that doesn't require discipline. When it's a very broad way, you got a lot of wiggle room, man. You got a lot of things that you can incorporate and bring into this thing, to where it could be to your overthrow. It says, "For broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go therein at." You see? And that's what a lot of Jake really wants, to come into this truth, but in a broad sense, not in that discipline, not in that narrow way, because like the scripture say, Jake is like a wild ass, man. Oh, let me get that real fast, man. Jake is like a wild ass. Jake want to just go and come as they see please. They don't want to have to deal with the straightness and the bitterness that comes with this truth and with this, come with serving the Lord. Yep. This is it says this is Jeremiah 2:23. It says, "How can I say I am not polluted? I have not gone after Balaam." You see, and that's what happens when you go through that broad way, man. You chase these things that are not according to to that narrow way. It says, see thy way in the valley, and know what thou hast done. Thou art a swift dromedary traversing her ways." And that's what ultimately the majority of our people is like. This is why they want to go through that broad way and not through the narrow. It says, "A wild ass used to the wilderness, that snuffeth up the wind at her pleasure, and her occasion who can turn her away." And that's why, like I said, a lot of these jakes, they don't want to go down that narrow path, because it's too tight, it's too disciplined. She can't be all out there like that, So therefore, hey, they don't want any part of it. They get out of there. Hey, Jake get too claustrophobic. They want to get out of there as soon as they can and go back to where they got all that wiggle room and all that space to just run around and be this wild ass, man. It says, "In her occasion, who can turn her away? All they that seek her will not weary themselves. In her month they shall find her." It says, "Withhold thy foot from being unshod, and thy throat from thirst. But thou saidest, there is no hope. No, for I have loved strangers, and after them will I go." You see, so Jake don't want to be in that straight narrow path. They don't want to have their foot shod and them to be put in place and be exactly what they need to be. Jake want to roam. Jake want to be free. Jake want to go out here and be in that do as thou wilt spirit, man. It says, "For I have loved strangers, and after them will I go." Yeah, which is what? That Broadway. And Jake and her occasion, nothing is going to turn her away, man. That's why you're going to see a lot of these Jakes end up leaving this truth, because that straight and narrow path was too tight for them. They don't like it. It's uncomfortable. So therefore, they want to be out here in all the ways of this world and dabbling here, dabbling there, tasting this, tasting that. You know what I mean? It says, "Because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it." You see? Because a lot of people are uncomfortable with the narrow way, with the way of discipline. A lot of people they can't operate like that. They want to do what they want to do whenever they want to do it, man. And it don't work that way, especially if you're trying to serve Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. It just don't work. All right, and let me get this. Second Esdras. All right, this is Second Esdras chapter 7. I started 10. Second Esdras chapter 7 verse 10. Oh no, I'm tripping. I'm gonna start at 6. This is Second Esdras chapter 7 verse 6, and it says, "And there is another." Oh, I started at 3. "And I said, Speak on, my power. Then said he unto me, The sea is set in a wide place, that it might be deep and great. But put the case, the entrance were narrow and like a river. Who then can go into the sea to look upon it and to rule it If he went not through the narrow, how could he come into the broad? You see, this is ultimately dealing with the kingdom of heaven and the way that we have to go to receive it, which is through Yahushua, which is a very narrow and very a way of difficulty and discipline and straightness. You know, you can't just move and do what you want to do when you're going down that narrow path into serving Yahweh Bashim Yahushua and our path into the kingdom, man. It's a very narrow and very straight entrance, man. It says, there is also another thing, a city is builded and set upon a broad field and is full of all good things, which is the kingdom of heaven. It says, the entrance thereof is narrow and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand and on the left a deep water, and only one path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at once, you see? And that's the road that a lot of these jakes and two-thirds don't want to take, man. It's too difficult, you know? It doesn't have enough wiggle room. It doesn't give you enough leverage to do what you want to do, man. All right? It requires discipline. It requires focus. It requires not being, you know, abusing yourself with this world, man. See, that's why a lot of these Israelite groups, you know, are coming up some other way. They make this doctrine to be about what they want to be about. They'll be able to, you know, they'll justify themselves. They're doing all kind of wickedness, man, just so that they don't have to be on that narrow and that straight, disciplined path, man. And that's why you brothers, those of you who've been built up under the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, man, hey, thank Yahweh Hashem Yahushai that he didn't lead you down the path of one of these false and worldly bugged out Israelite groups that's going to lead you, that's going to turn you away from the narrow and put you on that broad path, man. You see? Verse 9, it says, if this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance? Then, and I said, it is so, Lord. Then said he unto me, even so also is Israel's portion. Because for their sakes I made the world, and when Adam transgressed my statutes, and then was decreed that now is done. Right, which is now, you know, we're in these chains of darkness, we're in this flesh, you know. It's harder for us to achieve righteousness because we're in this situation, you know what I mean? So now, you know, us being able to attain righteousness, it's a harder thing to do than when Adam was on the scene, when he just knew righteousness. You know, he didn't know how to do evil or how to do wickedness. But when they went off, now, you know, this is why it's such a narrow path now to get into the kingdom of heaven, because, you know, the Lord made it to where, this body is prone to wickedness, this body is prone to sin. You know, we're constantly prone to doing what's pleasurable. You know, we seek to be comfortable all the time. You know, you want to take shortcuts. You don't want to do the things. You don't want to deal with the bitterness of this truth, like the guy, like Assad wanted to eat the lettuce and not the bitter herbs, man. You see, these are all conditions of the battle and things that this flesh, you know, causes us to have to fight with all the time, you know. But it says, and transgress my statutes, then was decreed that now is done. Then were the entrances of this world made narrow, full of sorrow and travail, and that's where a lot of jakes faint and fall out of this truth, because hey, that straight path is too much for them, man. But it comes with such a great and beautiful reward at the end of the day. And ultimately, we know only the elect are going to be able to endure and maintain that, and that's why we're praying and hoping that hey, we're part of the elect, man. We're hoping and praying that we don't get claustrophobic, that we don't get too pinned down and too weary, too beat down, too worried about, you know, the cares of this life and all this other bullshit, to where, you know, we deviate, we faint, you know, we fall out of this thing, we lose hope, we lose patience. You see? It says, full of sorrow and travail, and they are but few and evil, full of perils and very painful. For the entrances of the elder word were wide and sure, and brought immortal fruit. If then they that live labor not to enter these straight and vain things, they can never receive those things that are laid up for them. See? So we have to enter into the straight way, man. This is the only way. It's the only path, man. There's no other way. There's no shortcuts. There's no other way that you can climb up, which a lot of these other Israelite groups are trying to, let me get that. are trying to do and trying to establish for themselves and for their followers, man. They're doing everything in their power to avoid this narrow and straight path that leads into Yahweh Hashem Yahushua and into salvation and into the kingdom and into all the good things, man. You know, they're trying to build up another way, which is all going to fail and it's all going to be denied at the end of the day. All right? No, let me type this on. Yep. This is St. John chapter 10. St. John chapter 10, verse 1. Verily, I'm going to read it in NLT. It says, I tell you the truth, anyone who sneaks over the wall of a sheepfold, and who's the ultimately the door of the sheepfold is Yahushua. He's the great shepherd, you know? It says, who sneaks over the wall of a sheepfold rather than going through the gate. What's that gate? The straight gate, man. It says, must surely be a thief and a robber. You see? It says, but the one who enters through the gate is the shepherd of the sheep. The gatekeeper opens the gate for him, and the sheep recognize his voice and come to him. He calls his own sheep by name and leads them out, which is what Yahushua, man. And we're entering into this narrow way, and then eventually in the kingdom, Yahushua is going to let us out when we're in the kingdom of heaven. And we're going to be able to enjoy all the broadness and all the good things, the kingdom, rulership, dominion, you know what I mean, immortal lives, man. Having everything that the Lord has created for us to have, but it starts by going through that narrow path, man. And then the Lord's going to eventually open all things up into us. But you can't go up some other way, man. It's only one way and one way only. And if you try to climb up some other way, what does it say? You're a thief and a robber, man. And you know the penalty for a thief and a robber. You're going to be dealt with. It says, and he have gathered his own flock. He walks ahead of them, and they follow him because they know his voice. They won't follow a stranger, right? Any of these other weirdo doctrines, we're not going to follow it because we know that it's not of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. See? It says, and they won't follow a stranger. They will run from him because they don't know his voice. Those who heard that Yahushua uses this illustration, it's not a little bit further than what I want, but like I said, hey, we're not going to follow anybody else, man. We're not going to climb up some other way. It's only one way to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, to the kingdom through salvation, and that path is narrow and difficult, and you got many that are fainting and losing hope and patience because of the difficulty that come with that. And we're praying, Lord willing, that, hey, we're not part of that number that faints and falls, man. You see, so bitterness is a huge part of this ministry and in this walk, man. All right? It's not going to, you know, it's beautiful. It has its beautiful moments, you know, the brotherhood and, you know, learning this truth. It's very beautiful. It's a lot of sweet things that come with it. Hey, but it's also a lot of bitterness that comes with this truth, man. You know? Especially, you know, having to understand that we are a royal people of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, being in this captivity under Esau's dirty, stank, yellow tooth ass. You know, being a second tier to these heathen nations, being the proverbs and the bywords, you know, seeing the condition of our women and our children, being in the ghettos, being in this lowly condition. Yeah, that's part of the bitterness that comes with it. But hey, when you fully understand why it is, hey, man, it is what it is. You know, we accepted that. But like I said, but it does have its moments of where it's just like, God damn, man, you know? Where you keep praying, you know, you ask the Lord, damn, Lord, how much longer? Look at all this. Like, you see enough to where you're like, damn, but just for that alone, the Lord could come back and do what he's got to do. But we understand that we're on Yahweh Hashem Yahushua timeline, you know? The Lord's going to move at the moment that he needs to move, and that, you know, he's subject to his word. You know, but we know ultimately, at the end of the day, hey, the Lord is going to make good. He is coming back. He is going to deliver us. And, you know, but sometimes, you know, hey, you know, you just hastening to, you know, to get the hell up out of this captivity and this hell and this world and these stupid ass people and the day-to-day constant mundane routine of this wicked, stupid, whack ass life, man. But you know, it is what it is, man. Hey, that's why our faith is what's keeping us, you know, stable. You know, our lack of looking at the things, this temporal situation, and focusing on the kingdom, which is going to come immortality all of the time in the world to do everything that our hearts desire and everything that's promised unto us. It's going to come. But like I said, hey, we got to patiently wait and suffer till those days come. But man, hey, in the meantime, we're not gonna, Lord willing, not faint, man. But just keep pushing and keep going and deal with the bullshit as it comes, man. And just know that, hey, each and every day we're being built up more and more. You know, our hatred for this place is being built up. Our hatred for the truth, the herds. You know, our yearning for the kingdom, our yearning for Yahweh Shah to return. You know, it's a beautiful balance to it. You know. Just got a few more precepts. Look at this. Oh, here we go. This is 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 11. It says, if any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of the Most High. And if any man minister, let him do it as of the ability which the Most High giveth, that the Most High in all things may be glorified through Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, to whom be praise and dominion forever and ever. Amen. Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you. See? So you can't be overwhelmed with this, you know, with the fiery trial and the things that come with being in this truth. You know, it comes with these things. But like I said, these are all trials and testing of your faith. It's all things that are purifying you and building you up to where, you know, you can continue to stand. You know, continue to move forward, to serve Yahweh Shem Shai. You know, and through it all, hey, Yahweh Shai is being glorified on your behalf, man. So that's kudos to you. Hey, that's you know, brownie points you're scoring with Yahweh Shem Shai, man. Things that are keeping you adjusted, keeping you in the right spirit, keeping you you know, from falling into these different temptations, and ultimately, you know, the grace of the Most High could continuously being with you. It says, but rejoice inasmuch as ye are partakers of Hamashiach's sufferings, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy. Because why? When he appears, hey, he's going to appear on your behalf, man. We're going to be glorified and delivered and raised up with Yahweh Shah. So this is not in vain. You know, like I said, all of this tribulation, all of the bitterness, all of the temptations and the hell we got to catch into this thing is all going to lead up into us being glorified together with Yahweh Shah, you know? It says, if ye be reproached for the name of Hamashiach, happy are ye, for the spirit of glory and of the Most High resteth upon you. On their part, he is evil spoken of, but on your part, he is glorified. And that's what I was saying earlier, you know. You can't get caught up with the opinion of these worldly people out here. These, you know, 2/3 niggas and niggerettes, these heathens, these Christians, these people that's coming up against the true servants of Yahweh Shem Shai, even these other Israelite groups that's coming up against Great Millstone. You know, you know, hey, because ultimately they think they're casting us down and speaking evil on us, but really they're doing it to Yahweh Shem Shai, man. But on our part, it's going to be, what does it say? It says, on their part, he is evil spoken of, but on our part, hey, Yahweh Shai is being glorified. And he's, you know, and that's a beautiful thing, man. It's nothing, you know, hey, that, like I said, those are kudos that and gravy points that we're stacking up with Yahweh Shem Shai at the end of the day. That's why when it's all said and done, hey, the Lord's not going to leave us in the hands of these murderers of the prophets, man, or the people of this world, you know. But when it's all said and done, man, hey, Yahweh Shai is going to come through on the behalf of his elect, man. All right, and we're going to be delivered. We're going to be raised up, man. You know, hey, you know. It says, but on your part he is glorified, but let none of you suffer as a murderer or as a thief. Hey, that's spiritual, like I just read in Matthew's, what was that? Matthew 7. You know, those that come up some other way, they're going to be a thief and a robber. So you don't want to be considered a, you know. So I showed you that it's not just physically being a murderer, but spiritually. These other Israelite groups, these false leaders, these sellouts, these 501c3 Israelite groups, man. A lot of these infiltrators, these bugged out leaders. Hey, spiritually, they're a bunch of damn murderers and thieves because they're climbing up some other way, and they're causing Yahweh Shem Yahushai and this ministry to be evil spoken of. It says, but let none of you suffer as a murderer or as a thief or as an evildoer or as a busybody in other men's matters. It says, yet if any man suffer as a Christian, let him not be ashamed, let him glorify the Most High on this behalf, for the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of the Most High. And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of the Most High? You see? Hey, so hey, that judgment is going to really begin at those that know that they're Israelites, man. You know, like a lot of these false Israelite groups that we get on and we condemn and we cuss out, you know, because you know they're a bunch of damn murderers and thieves, man. You know, they're coming up some other way. They're teaching these wayward doctrines. They're bringing in damnable heresies. They're leading the flock of Yahweh Shem Yahushai astray. And if there's any members of the elect amongst these other bugged out Israelite groups, hey, the Lord's going to weed them out. The Lord's going to pull them out of those things, man. Hey, but those of them that are not part of the elect and that be deceived and led astray by these guys, hey, that blood's going to be on their hands at the end of the day. All right, and they're going to be judged and destroyed for it. All right, and you can't say that you weren't warned. You can't say that the Lord didn't set up His true prophets to warn you, man. You see? That was it on that. Yep. Let me get this. This is 1 Timothy chapter 6. Yep, 2 Timothy chapter 6, verse 12. It says, fight the good fight of faith, lay hold on eternal life, wherein thou art also called, and hast professed a good profession. Oh, maybe I'm going to read up, I think. Yeah, I'm serious. This is 1 Timothy 6 and 6. It says, but godliness with contentment is great gain, you see? Godliness with contentment is great gain. A lot of these guys are in the spirit that making money, and that godliness is godliness with gain means they're making a lot of money. And that's why they call us bums. And you're on your mother's couch, and don't listen to these bum camps. They're the bum camps, you know. Because why? Because these guys are making all of this money. Like I said, through the merchandise, through the 501c3s, to the tax exemptions, you know. That's why they're making all this money in this truth, and they're under the impression that because they're making all this money and they got the $4,000 super high def cameras, you know, they got all the buildings, they got the building funds, they got the, you know, handing out turkeys on Thanksgiving like Nino Brown. They got the merchandise, they got the fashion department, the garment department. They're flying all over the world doing this ministry. You know, they present that as being godliness, and they know to the eyes of the simple of our people, they look at those things as if, you know, that the Lord is really with them, because they all got the matching garments, they all got the, you know, the buildings and all this, and they're displaying all the money that they're making as if that's godliness, and that you know that gain is towards how righteous they are, when it's not true, man. Scripture say the Lord has chosen the poor rich in faith, man. Now, of course, if you got a good job and you make money, whatever, that's one thing. But hey, if you're making money off of this ministry and you're selling everything that ain't nailed down to the floor, and you're making you're using this truth to make merchandise, you're selling breakdowns, you're selling camp starter kits and fringes, you know, with t-shirts and all this other bullshit. Hey, that's not of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, because hey, the Lord never exhibited any of those things, man. And Yahushua said he didn't even have a place to rest his head, man. So don't get caught up in that BS. It says, for we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain we can carry nothing out. And that's why a lot of these guys don't, that's why they don't really push the destruction of Babylon the Great, because these guys are comfortable here, man. They don't want to see Babylon be destroyed. Because why? They're making all of this money. And when you make all this money, guess what? You need time to spend this money. You need money to, you know, you got to spend that money to put it into particular things, man. You see? So these guys ain't, that's why they're hoping that Babylon is here for another 1,000 years, man. And this is why they want to continue to get more and more people in their congregation so they can make more money, so they can spend more money, and so that they can be settled on their leaves, man. And be comfortable. Oh, that's why, like I said, that's why Hassan didn't want to eat the bitter herb, man, because he don't want to deal with the bitterness. They want to be comfortable here, man. They want to be Hebrew. They want to be here forever, man. It says, and having food and raiment, let us be therewith content. Hey, to them, that's blasphemous, man. Hey, they don't want to be comfortable with their daily bread. They want all the money. They want all the shekels. They want all the money that they can get, man. You see, they ain't just comfortable with just having a regular 9 to 5 and just getting what they need to be sufficient for the day. They want it all, man. All right. It says, but they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition. Yeah, and we see that, man. We see what you know, using this ministry to make a whole lot of money, using it as a 501c3. We see what it does to these Israelite groups, man. They become compromised. You know, they sell out. You know, they have to withhold particular things within the scriptures. You know, they have to tell their congregation to do particular things, which is ultimately wickedness, but they'll do it for the love of money, man. Right? They don't have no problem perverting the gospel if they could get them some worldly fame and put some money in their bank account. You see? Which shows you that they ain't truly sincere. It says, which drown men in destruction and perdition, for the love of money is the root of all evil. Like I said, having money, that's cool if you make a lot of money, but it's the love of money that is evil, because, hey, you'll be willing to sell out for money. You'll be willing to teach things that are damnable heresies for money. You'll pervert the gospel for money. You'll teach things that you ought not to teach for money. You know? You'll do all type of wicked things for money, which will ultimately lead many astray. All right? It says, while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith. And this is why Al-Azhar wanted to say that they wanted to link themselves with the IUIC. And this is why a lot of these Israelite groups, they don't rebuke one another like GMS does. Because why? They're all go along to get along. They're all running the same scam. They're all running the same program. They're all under the same 501c3. They're all making merchandise and doing the same, they're all running the same goddamn game, man, to make all of this money, to do all these things so that they could be rich and be notable groups, man. And we see that the Lord ain't with that, man. And it says what? They have pierced themselves through with many sorrows, man. It says, but thou, O man of the Most High, flee these things and follow after righteousness, godliness, faith, love, patience, and meekness. And doing those things is not going to get you a lot of money, man. It's not going to put you on a status to be a multi-million-dollar, popular, world-friendly, approved by this world ministry, man. See, this is why I said the elders of Great Millstone and the men under them, that's why we're so hated, man. All right? It says, fight the good fight of faith, lay hold on eternal life, wherein thou art also called and has professed a good profession before many witnesses. You see? And that's ultimately where we stand, you know, being under the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, man. We're not doing this thing, you know, for monetary gain. We're not doing this thing to be worldly. We're not doing this thing to where we can take the heat and take the heat and the hate from off of us to be certified by this world, man. You know, and that's why we're hey, what did it say? We're following after righteousness, godliness, faith. Remember, Nate bashes for being a faith-based Israelite group, man. Hey, and when you have faith in Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you're not going to sell the ministry out for filthy lucre's sake, man. You're not going to teach things that shouldn't be taught. You're not going to get a 501c3 and link this ministry with this government to get a tax exemption status, man, so you can make a whole lot of fucking money. All right? It says faith, love, patience, and meekness. Right? Patience means what? To suffer. Like I said, these guys don't want to suffer. That's why they don't mind being here for another 10, 20, 50 years, man. because they're comfortable here. All right? Hey, we're in that spirit of a just Lot, man. We're vexed with all the filthy conversation of the wicked, man. All right? We're tired of this place, man. We ready to get the hell out of here. We want salvation. We want deliverance, man. That's why, we're saying we're hoping and praying that this is the last Passover we ever have to keep here in Babylon the Great. Because we want to get the hell out of here, man. But in the meantime, hey, we're going to continue to suffer for righteousness' sake. We're going to take all the bitterness that comes with, serving Yahweh Shem Yahushua, all the temptations, all of the slander, all of the lies, all of the hatred, and all the things that come with, following after Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. All right? And let me get this and then I'll close it. There we go. That must be the wrong scripture. Must be the wrong. Let's put the wrong one in place. You do it like this, then I'll close the slack. Here we go. This is 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 12. It says in the NLT, "Dear friends, don't be surprised at the fiery trials you are going through, as if something strange were happening to you. Instead, be very glad, for these trials make you partners with Hamashiach in his sufferings, so that you will have the wonderful joy of seeing his glory when it is revealed to all the world. So be happy when you are insulted for Hamashiach's, for then the glorious spirit of the Most High rested upon you." Oh, that's the spirit. I read that already, but hey, that's the spirit that we need to be in, man. So we find ourselves happy, man, when we're suffering for righteousness' sake and for being reproached for this ministry and for this gospel and standing up for the Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. Hey, because when the Yahweh revealed, man, we're going to be revealed and gathered and glorified with him at the end of the day, man. So with that, Lord willing, this was edifying. I'm gonna give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace and blessing be multiplied. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace and blessing be multiplied on all you brethren, pushing this word in all sincerity and truth. Lord willing, you will edify, and Lord willing, next week, shalom.